What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? All right, we can go ahead and make sure everybody's in the Zoom room. I'm doing demonstration today for Canva, and then for the second half of class today, you all will be working in Canva, and I will be helping you with whatever you're struggling with when it comes to executing some of these main points that you all told me you wanted to learn. So I want to know inside the Zoom room, you all, this is your class, this is your challenge. This is the Craft to Quit crew and the Platinum membership. So I do want you all to participate with me. And I also want to know what you all are struggling with when it comes to Canva. Okay. So I have a list of some things that you've been telling me you're struggling with. And I'm going to make sure that I do go over those things today. However, if you feel there's something on this list that you want to focus more on, or if there's something that's not on this list and you really struggle with it, let me know and I may be able to touch on it today. If I'm not able to touch on it today, then we are also doing some Canva on Friday, which is day 5. I'm going to be demonstrating some stuff there. So just in the chat, let me know. Give me a 0 if you've never, ever, ever touched Canva before. Give me a 0. And then give me a 100 if you feel like you are the absolute best pro, probably even better than me in this room. And don't be shy. So I want you to give me a range of 0 to 100. Where do you feel your proficiency with Canva is? 0 to 100. Okay, I got 30, 65, 50, 85, 75, 45. Okay, so we got a mix, 25. Okay, we got a mix in here. And this is my Craft Wit crew. YouTube, I'll check on you all too, just to see in general where folks are standing when it comes to this whole Canva situation. Let's see here. All right. Okay, so I have some zeros on the YouTube side. Okay. All right, all right. Yep. So Teresa, I'm not releasing any designs. As a matter of fact, I'll be giving you the things that I'm going to be demonstrating so that you will have access to the stuff. However, the first part of the class, we usually don't do the hands-on part until after 8 o'clock because most folks are barely getting in, especially on the East Coast, no, on the West Coast, there's a difference in time change. So what I do at 7 o'clock is I start early. I go ahead and show off, demonstrate, see what you all need help with. And then at 8 o'clock, we'll take a little break. And then I'll have files ready for you to access depending on what it is that you all want to do. Yep. And here's the thing, Keisha. This is what I learned. I'm not a gatekeeper, number one. And I also learned that the things and the resources that you have access to when you're in the paid room, they are different. So you'll have access to the templates, you have access to me, you actually are able to ask me direct questions. Whereas on the Freeview side during the challenge, I do let the Freeview side see the challenge, some of it, and mostly it's because I want them to understand what it's like to have a quality instructor actually guide you through the process versus a lot of people have been burned. And I'm saying that because they've been burned by a lot of classes, templates, and just things they've invested in that have not yielded a return on their investment. Now, if that's you, go ahead and, you can give me a 100 in the chat. I would like to know, and I'm not ragging on anybody, but what hit, oh, Teresa says 10,000. Oh, we got a million or so in the house. Might even be a trillion. Okay, so let me know what it is that you're currently struggling with, that you've tried everything. And I know we're doing Canva today, but this is just in general we're specifically focused on this event design and large format design and printing. This is where you all want it to go. So for the next 60 days, that's what we're going to be focusing on. So I have developed some tools and some products and some templates, but my goal is to help you all get through something. So let me know. Flipping and design with your own clients. Got you, KB. Marketing, and don't we know it, Swan? That's the creative's worst nightmare. Is actually marketing something we created, right? The class for the banner helped me massively. All right, awesome. Face swap and flipping. Okay. So, and customer happiness, can we collect these and not screenshots, but actually like copy and paste the text so I can search them later? And this is literally what we're doing every single class that we're doing weekly. We're building on all of these problems you're telling me we're having. So today we're going to remove the background of photo, fade off a photo, make it a watermark photo in the background. Resize the design for large format printing, do some mock-up for wall arches, floor wraps, and the cubes, and accordion wall. So I have been hearing that those are some of the major issues that people are having in Canva, especially with event design. But I know we have a lot of Photoshop pros in the building tonight. So I have something very special for you all. We're doing Photoshop 2 days. We're doing Photoshop on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. Split images for printing. Maisha, what are you splitting the images? Are you splitting the images for like all of her t-shirts? Are you splitting the images for large format printing in terms of like the walls and the boards and things of that nature? Let me know what you need help splitting because I may have something for that already. Let's see, consistency with marketing. Yep. Let's see. AI and Photoshop. Okay, well, guess what, Janet? We do AI and Photoshop every single week. So this Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to experience within the challenge how we do class on Wednesday, on Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday we do AI, Wednesday we do Photoshop. And then this is why I required everyone that wanted to be in the challenge to join the academy for 30 days, because you'll also receive for the next 3 weeks, you're going to literally be engaging with AI and Photoshop every single week. And then if you choose to drop out, look, I don't judge, but you are locked in right now at $97 a month. So I would suggest stay locked in with us and we'll take care of you. I promise you that. We, especially if you're able to come to the live classes. Okay, Canva. Oh, Canva to the Automizer. Okay, okay, that's a good topic. So if I don't get to touch on that today, let's see, Canva to Automizer. I may be able to touch on that on Thursday when we do the Automizer, but that is a very good topic. All right. Okay, all over with t-shirts. Got you. All right. So you need help. Do you already have the split template, Maisha, or do you need this split template? And then Crystal, you say face swapping. That's definitely. I wasn't planning on doing face swapping this time, but I might push that into our curriculum for tomorrow since we're doing AI tomorrow. Oh, Jana. So the atomizer here, I think I can show you better than I can tell you. Let's see. Let's see here, my love. Um, So the Automizer is a product that I designed really, I would never have designed it if it weren't for this community. So shout out to the Innate Tribe. But what it allows you to do is take one design. We're going to design one template on Wednesday, okay, in Photoshop. And then that template is what I call a master file. That master file will give you your assets, and those assets go into this Automizer and automatically design all of the things that you see on the screen right here. So literally over 100 products get designed with just one design flip. And this is really special because you all are going to see, you all are going to flip this design from the gentleman to another colorway. other text. So basically you're going to change instead of 2K26 or instead of 2026, I put it 26 on purpose so that you all could change it to 25. You'll change the name and you'll change the image. So the whole idea is once you get that flip and that process understood, then you're able to go back and plug this into the Automizer and automatically create the mockups and the printable files that you see here. Okay. So this is why I wanted you all to be with me for the next 30 days because I want to take you from being afraid of showing off your work and maybe even a little bit timid and not as confident in what you do and how fast you can do it. So our goal is to optimize. Now it looks like we're doing a whole lot here. It looks like some crazy design skills, and you will have crazy design skills because they're built into the templates. But this really is a templated process. So today when I show you some stuff on Canva, you're going to understand like Canva isn't really templating things because you're having to replace everything. It's a template in the sense that it lets you know where to place things, but we're basically going to have to rebuild everything in Canva. Yes, there absolutely will be a replay. If you're in the challenge, there will be a replay. If you're not in the challenge and it's on the YouTube side, then it won't be a replay, but I'm giving you the information for free. On the YouTube side, as long as you show up, you'll get to at least understand what it is that we're doing. You won't have the resources like the downloads and everything, but I promise you, you will still learn something even on the free side of this. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to get started on the Canva side here. I have some understanding now of what we are missing. And to be honest with you, I don't plan on standing on the Canva side too long because if you're in this academy, which you're in this craft to quit room, I guarantee you by the time I show you what Photoshop can do, you're going to use Canva for what you use Canva for, which I do use Canva. As a matter of fact, I'll show y'all right here. I use Canva to create that video y'all just saw. Basically, I use it like a marketing tool, okay? Now, it didn't make the guy walk in the background. That's a different thing, a different class that I'll show you how to do with AI later on. But this is the type of stuff that I use Canva for. So Canva is very useful. It's not my favorite tool to use for designing, especially large format and especially templates. However, I digress because y'all want to learn you some template designs with Canva. So let me see in the chat here. Who is Team Photoshop? Who's Team Canva? If you're Team Photoshop, put a PS in the chat. And if you are Canva, give me a C. Give me a C. Let me see what we have in this room. Okay. Photoshop all day, all day. Canva, but my eyes have been open to Photoshop. Cool, cool. Okay. Gotcha. And even if you're very limited with Photoshop, I promise you everything that we do with Photoshop, you will be able to do. Just make sure that you have Photoshop downloaded, let's say by tomorrow, so that if you have any issues, we can work it out. We don't start in Photoshop until Wednesday, okay? Okay, Vicky and Chris are purely Canva. Brittany's purely Canva. Keita's purely Canva. And Jana's Canva at the moment. Okay, cool. No worries. By Wednesday, you'll be a true believer. All right. And you all will be able to access a trial version of Photoshop if you don't have it, okay? All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so like I said, we're gonna snap into this Canva. Now I've heard, and I know this is true, that a lot of times in Canva, some of the more difficult things to do, especially when you're talking about event designs, is doing the mock-ups. And let me see here and refresh. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you all how to create mockups for those really difficult large format graphics and also these kind of 3D designs. And if you're wondering where this background came from, don't worry, I will show you on Tuesday. We generated this in AI, and I'll be having you all generate your own graphics in AI. You're going to have fun with that. But I have to start from the beginning. Okay, so in the beginning, there's a design that you have to create, and you have to create it to a certain scale. However, this thing right here is 8 feet tall, and it is two 88-inch panels, so it's basically 16 feet wide. If it's not scrunched together, it's 16 feet wide. If I try to go and create a custom size here, and a width of this one is, let me get my measurements together. I believe it's 88. Yep. So it is actually 88 inches wide for one design. And I'll show you how we're going to do this. 88 inches wide, and then the height's supposed to be 96 inches. So it's about 8 feet by 8 feet. But when we're doing the accordion wall, we have to save a little space for the flap that connects it all together. So I'm going to put that in inches because inches make way more sense. 88 inches by 96 inches. Okay. And we'll see that we run into an issue because Canva is not going to let that happen. And like I said, everything that I developed tonight in Canva, I'll be giving to you all, but I need to teach you all the principles of designing large format in Canva because there are millions of templates that are out there where you can just switch designs up, and that's cool. But if you do not know how to format them, if you don't know how to size them, if you don't know how to mock them up, then it puts you in a position where you're not going to be that confident putting your business out there, like doing this as a service, doing this as a business. So I'm going to fill you in with all of those details tonight. For my Photoshop babies, I know y'all know the Photoshop deal. However, this is still helpful to you because we will be learning to use these type of tools in Canva, even if we're doing our marketing materials. So hang tight with me. We're going to make sure that we get some good learning in today. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to, Misha says it's been difficult to print large backdrops with Canva. Okay, so I'm glad you said that, Misha, because I know that to be true, but I'm going to give you some hacks tonight to make it a little bit simpler if you choose to continue to design in Canva. Okay, so one thing that I want to teach you is to just take the size of the graphic and divide it by 2. Okay, that means we're going to design in 1/2 scale, which is cool because I'm going to show you at the end how to get the highest resolution, even if we're designing at 1/2 a scale. That just means that you have to do the math, okay? So, for instance, for this accordion wall, I'm going to do a 44 by 48. And I'm going to make sure that says inches and not pixels, and I'll hit create new design. And then what I have to do from here, if it's my accordion wall, I'm literally building this template from scratch just to show y'all it can be done and it's not that hard. And I do sell Canva templates, but I'm going to show you the difference between a Canva template and a Photoshop template. A Canva template is more of a suggestion of where to put things. A Photoshop template uses smart objects and is an immediate way to quickly make global changes, change out a photo, change out colors, etc. All right, so basically how this is set up is about every 11 inches, or yeah, because we broke this down half size, so now I have to remember 11, 22, etc. And then 33, and it's not snapping exactly on there, but I'm just giving you an example here. Okay, so these are the 4 panels that just show side 1. There's also a side 2. Now, I've already started on this part for you all, so I'm just going to close out of that one. That's exactly what I did here. And I designed this design in Photoshop. So you'll get a chance to see that today, but I'm also going to show you, well, how would I kind of pull this together if this were my Canva design, okay? So I'm going to basically give you a dupe method. Oh, Jenny, you didn't realize you could pull lines from the ruler. Well, look, let me put that on my list of things I taught y'all today. Pull the guidelines from the ruler. And this works exactly the same as Photoshop. The only reason why I even knew that is because I know Photoshop. So I was like, well, let me see if I can pull this from over here because Photoshop does the same thing. Okay. All right. So I have my little lines up here. This is just a suggestion for me to understand what's going to go on each panel. And what I'm doing is I'm using my Photoshop design as a suggestion. You could even screenshot like a design that you want to be inspired by. Don't be stealing people's stuff, y'all. Just be inspired by. And then you can basically use it as a template, quote unquote, to understand the principles of design here. All right, so with that said, I'm going to come over here to, I'm going to open up this one. And I'm going to go to my upload. So I'll give you all of the graphics that I'm doing here now. My whole point is to just give you whatever I do in this live demo tonight. I'm going to be giving you all in the challenge. For those on the YouTube side, I'm teaching you how to build from scratch. All right, that's what you get for the free 99. I promise you, you're still going to get great value with this. Let's see here. Let me see if I can make the screen a little bit wider. See if you all can see that better. Now this Zoom is all over the place. There we go. And let me know, is that a little bit easier to see? I try to make it or I did make it a little bit bigger. I gotta stop using that word try if I get in trouble. You know, my daddy might slap out of heaven and give me that look because we weren't allowed to use that word growing up. I've been using it a lot lately. Y'all stop me when y'all hear me use that word, okay? That word try or can't. All right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the elements that I'll be giving you all to basically rebuild this design. I'll duplicate it just so I have it as a reference. But basically all this is my background and an accent element. So really I'm teaching you more of the principles of design than anything else right now. I'm going to grab this top right corner and this is going to allow me to resize it. And then I'm going to use this little bendy arrow here. We have the same bendy arrow in Photoshop. And I'm going to reduce the size of it. Now I have a little drop shadow on there, so I'm going to go to Edit and then go to Shadows and choose a drop shadow there. Beautiful. So far, that's exactly what I did in Photoshop. All right, and now what I'm going to do is go ahead and delete this background layer here. Delete that one as well. And I'm going to, this is all from my master template in Photoshop. All right, now in order to see the layers, I have to tap on position. I can see the layers. I do this in Photoshop too, but I'm just showing you everything tonight Canva style. And then once you see, I may even get a chance to show y'all tonight while you're going, and you'll get a chance to decide. Do you want to work live in Canva tonight, or do you want access to some bonus files on Photoshop for Wednesday? And we will actually be able to explore those files. I'm gonna let y'all tell me tonight, okay? All right, so this right here is an accent image. Y'all already talking about bonus. Y'all love some bonus. My bonus time ends up being overtime with y'all, but I love it. All right, so background, accent. Now, when I design, I'm usually designing with a few elements in mind. Foreground image, which is usually like your subject image, your photo, then a background image. Then we're looking at right now an accent image, which is just like a logo, or maybe it's some flowers or something extra, and then text. Okay. If we keep things simple like that, we're learning design principles. You can design anything you want. Okay. So background, foreground, accent, and text. Okay. That's it. Y'all can put that in your notes, and that's all you need to know for this whole week. We can shut this challenge down right now. If you just know that, you're gonna be all right. When you start looking at designs, you'll start breaking them down by that too. All right, so that's my design, but this one seems to be a little watermarked. And all we're doing there is taking the transparency down. So we can click here and pull that transparency down. And that looks almost like my one right here. If I want to zoom in just a little bit more, I'm going to double click inside the image, and then I'm going to scale my image here while it is in that double click mode. See how I was able to make it bigger? All right, cool. So now it looks like I pretty much have what I have in Photoshop. All right, so that's going to be panel number one. Now, the reason why I say I'm just going to give you the files here because literally, once I do all of this work, this is not what I want to teach you to do. What I want to teach you how to do are some standard functions that you're going to need to know how to do. Building this design right now is really for me to show you how I even come about designing large format templates and how this is going to help you understand how to either print this yourself or give this to a printer that's going to either print your vinyl and ship it to you, or actually print your large format graphics onto board and everything and deliver it to your clients, whether it's a drop shipping or you are doing co-production with the printer. I want you all to be, can I give you all a little hint here? The printers and the people are going to love to work with you if you understand how this works. The printers will loathe dealing with any creatives who don't know how to size their work, who give them stuff that always have to be resized, that the pixels are bad and it's going to look like garbage, and then you're going to blame them, but really it's your file. So I want you all to have wonderful relationships with your printers. I want you to have wonderful relationship with the production teams who might be helping you with your drop shipping outside of your own production. So this is going to save you time, it's going to save you heartache, and it's going to help you prepare for this event design space a lot faster than if you were to learn by failing. Okay. Yes, Jenna, we are going to discuss that on Friday, as a matter of fact. We are going to prepare a list. I'm going to have you all help look for some resources as well. So I'm going to teach you how to go get the resources, but I'm also going to share with you the resources that we currently have for vendors. So great question. All right. Cool, cool. All right, so, and some of those vendors have already told me they are so happy that I'm doing this class because they are ecstatic that someone is helping people create their artwork in the proper format. So I think what we're doing is good stuff. All right, so next, I'm going to go into doing the second design. And this one, of course, I did it in Photoshop, but I'm going to show you how to achieve the same results right here. Now, because I already have my background in place, if I want this to look like it basically switches from one side to the other, which that is what an accordion wall does. This is the mock-up for the accordion wall here. Of course, this is Photoshop, but y'all know what we're doing here. All right, so what happens is you see one set of images walking from one direction and you see a different set of images coming from the other direction. But it needs to look continuous for me because it gives this illusion when you're walking from one side to the other. So in order for it to look continuous, we design 1, 2, 3, 4 as one image, and then we break it up inside of this accordion wall. So let me go ahead and get back to that so I can show you this process and show you why you're gonna love Photoshop on Wednesday, okay? Why are you gonna be screaming bonus files too? Okay. I'm just telling you, you're gonna be screaming bonus files. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this next one. So we can cut the background out here inside of Canva, which honestly, I believe Canva has a really great background removal tool. I personally believe it uses the remove BG because it seems to have the same interface. But if I hit this BG remover here, it does an excellent job. It works really quickly. And I will be honest, sometimes, many times, it works better than Photoshop for the background removal. Okay, so if I were wanting to use, let's say I don't want to use remove BG. Oh, let me see if I can put that on my list of hacks to show y'all. Do you all want me to show you a workflow if you wanted to use if you have Canva and Photoshop, but did you wanted to use Canva to remove your backgrounds? Okay, y'all said yes. So Canva to remove background. Okay, let me put that on my list because I want to show you how to, well, let's go ahead and do it right now. All right, so I'm going to create a custom size. Like I said, we're designing half size. So 12 by 18 inches. That's the size that I do inside of my Automizer when I do my photos. It's like 12 by 18. Okay. What I will do is I will go ahead and go to my folder, find my images, and let me see if a folder will pop up. And this is for our AI 65. All right, and you see these are my images where the background's not cut out. There's 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's say I'm going to give you all of these images so you all can build this from scratch if you want to. The hardest thing to do is the accordion wall. So I'm doing the accordion wall, and then you all are going to be designing your arch walls. Okay. So I'm going to give y'all the easier part. I'm going to take care of the hard part for you. And then what I'll do is when we're on that portion of the class tonight, I will just give you my design files. All right, so I can drag and drop them here. And typically that's going to also put them inside of your uploads there. And then I'm going to make it as large as I can make it here. This is even if I'm bringing this inside of Photoshop. I should have started with the bottom one first to make it a little bit easier. And all I'm doing is just resizing it here. And y'all, if y'all are in the challenge, make sure you're in the Zoom room, not on the YouTube side. So check your My Products in the Academy and make sure that you look for, there's a 0303 Auto Design Me course, and make sure y'all make it inside the Zoom room because I can't see the chat for YouTube, but I can see the chat for the Zoom room. All right, so now I have everything in the proper height here. I'll take all of them, just go to arrange here, and I'm just going to center them and go ahead and one at a time. Just go to my BG remover, go to the layers, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove the background from each of these 4 images. And you see it goes pretty quick. However, I would suggest, and this is just something to make it a little bit easier for you, just go ahead and check on each one separately. And this is one reason. All right, I'm not going to rag on Canva tonight because it does what it does. And a lot of people are using Canva. So one of my hacks, if I need to see something, is I will literally put in a shape and then drag it behind whatever it is I need to see as far as for the cutout, just to make sure it looks nice, it's clean, that's good. Then I'll bring everything else below the cutout, then above, that looks like a good cutout. Then this one looks like a good cutout. And I haven't cut this one out yet, so this will be a good opportunity to see what this little shape in the background helps you do. So now I'm going to remove the background. All right, cool. Now I can delete this shape layer because I do not need it. Unless, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you what, you can put it towards the very, very back because maybe you'll need it in the future. If you just want to use this document right now, just call this like my 12 by 18 photo cutouts. I'm literally giving you an entire workflow tonight. How did I center them? Great question, Jenna. What I did was I clicked on them, and you can click on all of them at once. Go to position, go to arrange, and then just hit center right here, and it centers it all together. And then if I want to go by the middle, I can center it by the middle too. Again, position, oops, not left, center, and it's already centered about the middle. All right. Okay, so now if I want to export all of these as PNGs at once, now I do this because I have Photoshop. So what I do is I go ahead and download. Make sure that you put transparent background right here. Oh, actually, you're not even going to do PNG. You're going to do PDF standard. Do not flatten it because you want it to have all those layers. Okay, and that's all you're going to choose is PDF standard and then hit download. All right. And what it's going to do is download that as a PDF format, even though it's all on one page. And I didn't have to because a lot of people duplicate the pages. I'm like, oh no, that's too much. Okay, so I'm gonna put that inside of my little Canva breakdown for today. So that's our 12 by 18 photo cutouts. That's a PDF. And then I'll go to Photoshop, File. I will open that PDF. My 304 folder, Canva. All right, so see how it's just one PDF there, but if I choose to force it to open in Photoshop, it's going to give me some options here. And I'm going to say instead of pages, I want to open the images. And look at that. If I hold down, see, I can just select one of the images. If I want all four, I'm going to hold down Shift, click the first one, hold down Shift, then click the last one, then say OK. All right, and you'll see here, then I will have to save each of these. So I would definitely save. And you can save it as a PSB, that's actually fine. But if you wanted to, you could just save it as a regular old PNG. And that way you've effectively used the Canva cutout feature, whether you're using Photoshop or not. I will show you on Wednesday how to cut out with Photoshop without having to do this Canva thing. But a lot of people are impressed by the Canva cutout feature, which I am. I'm one of those people. I'm really impressed by the Remove BG feature. I'll show you on Wednesday. I actually use Remove BG on my computer, but you have to pay for credits to do that. So this is a way if you already have Canva, even if my Photoshop people, even if you use Canva just to cut out your background, sometimes it does do a lot cleaner job of cutting out the background and it allows you to flow better. Okay. Why I use a PDF? So when I do a PDF, it allows me to collect those different images and it preserves the layers. Okay. Now when I save it here, I'm saving it as a PNG just because I don't have layers in these individual images. So it's cool just to save them as PNGs. Okay. So I won't save that one, then I will save this one. So then you all will have these cutout versions ready to go. Mhm. Oops. PNG. All right. Now for me, I used when I developed this design and this template in Photoshop, I did use Photoshop's cutout tool, but I will tell you that I see a lot more cleaner cutout lines with the Canva version, but Photoshop will usually help you cut out the hair a little bit better when it comes to like flyaways and that sort of thing. All right, let me stop talking while I'm saving because I've been saved as a different format. All right. Okay. So now I'm just going to close out of these because I don't need the PDF versions. I was just using the PDF to get to the PNGs. That was one of my little hacks. All right, now we're off back to Canva. Okay, so like I said, that was one of my ways of getting multiple cutouts done. All right, so we don't need that anymore. And I'm not going to go grueling through. So let's see. I use PDF. Okay, that was the last question. So inside of the Zoom room, I need you all to help me understand what it is that you want to do, because now it's about to be that time where you can choose tonight to be more hands-on in terms of me showing you how to do a composite design, foreground, background, fade off, or if you want me to continue showing you how to develop like the accordion cube and the arch wall, I can do it more as a demo, and then you all will have all of those things basically for the free 99. You won't have to make them, they'll be done for you. What would y'all rather do? And this is mainly for my Canva folks. So my folks that said see in the beginning, because my Photoshop folks, y'all already know how this is gonna go. In Photoshop, that's why I can't have y'all voting, because I want to give you all, we're gonna be working on that's where this design came from. But if you all want the bonus and for me to go ahead and just make the Canva files for tonight, and I will show you my whole process of making them. I won't hold anything back. Then you all will also have this file, which I plan on selling this file for $197. But you can let me know if, and this is my Canva folks, Canva, only the people that put C before. If you would rather have the bonus Photoshop file, then it has basically how you can change out the colors. We have smart colors here. You change out the photos, and then you would have template 270. You would have this template here that's editable. That's what I'm telling you. When we say templates in Photoshop, it's a totally different thing than templates in inside of Canva. Okay, so this template is literally, I can make my logo bling. I can make my text bling. I can make new jerseys. I can change the color of this locker room set here. That's how our templates go. Okay, so far looks like everybody's saying bonus. Okay, so, and the bonus will include like everything in the same colorway, so you can use it as an example, but the whole objective is you're going to be able to flip this. Okay, so I'm going to give you now, these are not Canva templates. These are Photoshop templates. But what I'm going to do then, I'm going to make the templates because of, like, let me show you how this accordion wall works. And the reason why I say I need to show you this before I make it, because you'll understand why I'm making it and why I don't have it as a part of my arsenal, because it's a lot of manual work. So I'm going to show you tonight how different a template will be in Canva versus Photoshop when you're talking about mockups. So this is a design template. This is what I'm going to be recreating for you all tonight on Canva, and I'm going to show you from scratch how I did it. Okay. You'll see there's a lot of elements here. This is what we just recreated, remember? So we're on this step right now tonight. But I need to get y'all to this step. All right, so what I'm going to do, and all of these here are automated designs. So when you change the colors, you change the text, it's automatically going to pop up inside of your mockups here, okay? So, Janet, how to use a real person will be exactly the same. Exactly the same. What you're going to do though is you're going to flip your template. That's your homework. You're going to flip your template and you're going to place your own image in there. So if you have a graduate, great. If not, then I have AI images where you won't have to worry about somebody saying, take my granddaughter's picture off your page or anything like that. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead, since I don't want to get y'all too hyped on Photoshop just yet. I'm going to show you how we do it on the Canva side. Okay. So I'll go ahead and move quickly through this. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, go ahead and put my images in here, drop them in, and we just created those. All right, so I can select all 4 by holding Shift, and I'm going to select all 4 here. And just drop them like it's hot right here on my artboard, just like I would in Photoshop. And this is exactly what you would be doing if you had your own photos. So I know I'm using the photos here, but if you had your own photos, that's what a Canva template does, y'all. I'm going to show you what a Photoshop template does. A Photoshop template, I double click, and when I double click on something, I change the person, and everywhere I use that person, it changes them with that smart object. Canva is not at that level yet. So technically, when you get a template, you're literally coming in here and saying, okay, well, I see this design. It's giving me ideas of where to put things. Let me lay it out. So you still have to use a lot of your own creativity just to understand where to put things and how to manage your design. Okay. Let's see here. And for any of my Canva folks, y'all let me know if there's something specifically, and you have been letting me know when I'm doing something and you're asking, oh, well, how did you pull that ruler up or whatever the case is. So feel free to ask those Canva questions in the chat. Teresa says, yeah, I need AI images. Don't know why any graduates or a lot of people. Okay, that's one of the issues. Yes, that's why I wanted you to go ahead and at least have the AI images. And I will be teaching you all tomorrow my method for like even how I came up with this particular AI character. I modeled it after a local athlete. So hopefully even if his family doesn't recognize it and want it, other people who know that local athlete may say, okay, well, wait a minute, is that so and so? I want my graduation party to look like his. So you're using that power of influence without infringing on someone's image there. Okay, so Cheryl, we will have AI. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow we're making AI images, and then we'll be using those AI images this week as well. All right, so I have those all laid out. Background is there. So there's something I want to show you all. We did a pop-out feature, and you're not going to be able to do that in Canva. So what I did was I faded off the background for like the actual photo, made them pop out, and then removed the background at the top, and you can see it's faded off. You won't be able to do that in Canva, so I'm going to skip that step. That's why a lot of times when you see my Canva graphics versus my Photoshop graphics, the Canva graphics will look more basic because it's not very bitmap friendly. Okay, but there are ways. I have dupes of doing everything. I just don't think a lot of times it's worth it when you go through all those extra steps. All right, so let's see here. Got that one. So we have our background here. I'm going to just copy it from this one, paste it here. Now, when I paste it, it should go in the exact same position. I'm just going to drag it to the bottom. All right, and now I see side 1, side 2. I'm going to get rid of my example graphic that was in the back here. And this is just going to be for your reference if you want to see what the Photoshop version looks like. Okay. So when I say start, this is the start of my design, okay, for the accordion wall. Now what I have to do is I have to save this as high quality as possible because this has to be split up before I even send it to the printer. So y'all ready for this? All right, so I'm going to go share. Then I'm going to go to download. I'm going to save these just as JPEGs at the highest resolution. So I'm cranking them all the way up. Now, this is the way that you can kind of get some of the quality back. It's probably not really even the quality that it says it is, but this is a step that the printers have suggested that I teach you all because what will happen is a lot of times, let me come out of this and let's do download again. And let me choose PNG. And well, it already cranked it up, but most times it'll be set at level 1, right? And level one, this is only 4,000 by 4,000 pixels, which is decent enough for your screen, is decent enough, maybe even for a t-shirt. When you go printing this as a 8 foot by 8 foot backdrop, that's where you're going to come into issues, okay? Yes, Jana, we're going to work on that on Wednesday. So this is a cityscape that you can change out in Photoshop because, like I said, you won't be able to do all of this color grading and things that we did here in order to make this. This is Jacksonville, right? So I also had one that was Atlanta or whatever the major city is. Do that because it gets people's attention. And even if it's not a cityscape, you may be in a rural area. There's probably some rural area, there's probably some kind of landmark in your rural area that people really love. And it could even be, trees and I know like Washington D.C. everybody loves the what is it those things called Washington D.C. with cherry blossoms like Potomac and stuff. When I was looking at that stuff, like I saw cherry blossoms on everything. So cherry blossoms may be something for you. That's what we're gonna do when we do this design file. Okay. All right, so great catch there. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and download this JPEG, crank it all the way up, baby. Then I'm going to hit download. It's going to download it as a zip file because it's multiple pages. All right, so for my accordion wall, this is my step one. And like I said, I will give you these files that I make it in Canva. You will not have to remake these files. So since we're going to do the bonus option, I'm going to make these files for you all, but I'm also showing you exactly how I made them. So you can go back, watch this replay, and get a great understanding of what happens when you're making large format graphics. Okay, so that's step one. Now what I have to do is I have to go split that up into 4 by 8 pages. So I think I started that for y'all. Oh, nope, my step two. Here it is. That's what I say. Y'all are gonna love the way that I design Photoshop files. Trust me. Okay, so now that we are on the individual panels, because for an accordion wall, they're slender panels that are 22 inches wide by 96 inches tall if you're doing the entire board. Okay, and see how long it took that to even save? All right, so that's my one accordion starter. That's step one. And I'll show you what we're going to do with those in just a little bit. Also, what I want to do while I'm here, and I should have done this. Oh no, that is my version one. I'm just going to color grade it. I'm going to color grade it inside of Canva so y'all can see how to do that. All right, so remember I told you have to design things at half size. So each panel is supposed to be 22 by 96, which is little under 2 foot by 8 foot tall. So now it's 11 by 48. That's the size that I made this. So this is going to be our step two for the accordion wall. This is each little panel. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and unzip. All right, so I'm going to unzip. Like I said, y'all are going to love how this works in Photoshop. But I've gotten so many questions on how to make this work in Canva. I just couldn't leave y'all hanging in Canva anymore. So, especially on the YouTube side, there is no other YouTube video out there. Trust me, I've checked. There is no other free tutorial video out there. Trust me, I've checked. So please, y'all, please make sure that you don't have to tell me thank you because a lot of times y'all don't even comment on my stuff. You don't even like it. It's okay. It's okay. It's cool. At least go ahead and subscribe, make a comment, something that helps the algorithm. Let other people know how much painstakingly hard work I'm putting out here for y'all. Okay. Carmen, you said your link is not working for your access to Zoom. If you are in Craft to Quit Love, there is a Let's see, Carmen. Carmen, are you in the Zoom room now? I don't see. Let me see if I see it on the chat. Carmen's stuck over there on the YouTube side. So, customer happiness, do you mind? Oh, okay, I see you in the chat. Can you drop that link that I said to share with everyone? Oh, okay, you're not Craft to Quit. Okay, so Carmen, you're not Craft to Quit, but if you're a gold member, then we're having AI class tomorrow, which you are in the AI class, and then we're having Photoshop class on Wednesday. But if you're a platinum member, then you get the the challenge for the free 99. That's the only way I'm doing challenges now. I'm doing challenges that are for my top tier group so I can help you all get the hands-on help you need and the breakdown that you really need. And then everybody else, if y'all want to be in the Craft to Quit crew, you can purchase the replay. I'm showing a lot of this stuff for free anyway, but if you want the files and everything, you can purchase the replay. But I want to make sure that we're getting the hands-on time and the feedback in the live group for the platinum members. Okay. But trust and believe, that's why I ain't leave y'all out. I'll let y'all see what I'm working on the YouTube side. Okay. I think that's mighty fair. I think it's really mighty fair because I got 0 likes right now and all these people watching this on YouTube. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and finish this work here. We're going to go ahead and extract all for the accordion. All right. And then I can view my large icons here. Oh, this is my other one I did this for y'all earlier. Extract all. And so I need my big images first. All right, so here I have my page 1 and my page 2, which is all I need. And I'm going to be using those, but here I have to use math. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drop in image 1 and image 2 now. I can drop it here. I'm just going to start off on panel number 1. This is why I said, do y'all want me to just give you this file? Because it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm creating it, showing you the steps live, but it is a lot. All right. So let me go over to position so I can see my layers. 1 and 2. And before I do anything with them, I'm just going to make sure that they are centered in the same exact position. Why? Because we have to use math. Tamara just says, just give the file. Tamara, I'm gonna just give y'all the file, okay? This is the reason why I came up with the split template for the all over shirts. This is the reason why I came up with the Automizer, is because this is a lot of repetitive work. And guess what y'all gonna have to do? In Canva, you're gonna have to do these steps every single time. Yes, I'm going to have these set up for you so you have a suggestion of where to put things, but you're going to have to do these steps every single time. Okay. Even if you didn't have my automizing templates in Photoshop, you would still have to do these steps every time. So it's the way that we make our templates, the way that we teach and make these resources that make it simple. And I have to show y'all the hard way so y'all appreciate the easy way. Is that okay? Is that all right? I'm literally showing you step by step how to do it. All right. Like I said, I haven't seen anybody else tell y'all how to do this. Everybody, this is trade secret. They don't want y'all to know how much go into it. I want you to see how much go into it so you know how how well made our files are. Okay, so see how I pulled to the very top and bottom extents here, but I pulled both of them at the same time. It's important because you have to use math with these next steps now. Okay. All right, so that's both. So I am going to focus on what goes here in this first one. So you'll notice that there is a photo one, and then like every other panel changes from the text to the photo to the text to the photo, etc. So the reason why I'm doing it this way is so that you can match up the idea I said, once I build it, you all can drag and drop your images in here, and hopefully that will give you, if you're going to continue to use Canva, it'll give you a workflow. Okay. And it will go a lot quicker than if you were doing it by yourself. All right. So that's image number one. I'm going to go to position here. And now I'm going to take both of these and just copy them and paste them on each of these. Like I said, it's going to take a little math here, but I got y'all. Watch this. All right, so I have the same image on all of these. Now we're going to do every other. So this one is cool. It stays right there. I'm going to skip one, go to the next one. So this image, I want to make sure that I push it over to about where the next little step would be, right? But how do I know where that is? I'm going to go to arrange, and I'm looking at my X position. And remember, each of these panels should be 10 inches wide with our half scale. So I'm going to go -11. And I want Y to be 0. Boom. That lets me know I'm in the right place. Y'all see what I'm doing here for you? All right, so skip this one. Then I'm going to go to the next one. All right, so this one, I did -11 on the last one. What should I go negative this time? -11 plus 11. Somebody help me out in the chat. There we go, 22. To be honest with you, this is exactly what I do for the Photoshop templates too, y'all. I spend hours obsessing over your problem so y'all don't have to do this. Y'all will see what I'm talking about. All right, so last one. Okay. So this one we needed our third step. What's our third step? -33, right? Oops, I don't know what the hell what I was typing on. Hopefully it didn't mess that up. I thought I was typing right here. All right, so that's it. So now I'm going to go to my layers here, and on the panel, the alternate panels, I'm going to go ahead and delete the top image because I don't need it anymore. Okay, deleting that top image. Every other one, just be careful. You're not deleting the wrong thing. Push come to shove. I mean, you copy and paste. You know what you're doing here. All right, so now he's the same in each of the other panels. All right, so now this is the same thing. So he is going to start his 0 point here on the second panel, right? So when I come to, this is the second panel, but of the second image that we're doing. Like I said, these accordion walls get a little tricky. So I'm going to come to the second, well, this is the fourth panel of the whole installation, but the second image. All right, so I'm going to go to arrange again. Then I'm going to go -11. Okay, now I get my football player in there. Boom. Now we got a little system of things. When we understand what we're doing, we can get a system to things. And that's what I do. I don't know if y'all know this, but I have a PhD in engineering and industrial engineering. And a lot of what we do is systems, ergonomics, things that make human lives easier. So on top of this fashion design and everything else I majored in, that's what I ended up with my PhD in, believe it or not. All right, so -33 now. Now, I'm gonna do a little check-in. I gotta check on my Photoshop file, y'all, because like I said, this is way more difficult to do on Canva, but I'm gonna get y'all right. All right, let's make sure it looks right. I have congrats, graduate, class of 2026. So we'll put the words on there, but right now I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, 4 images. The work is there. Okay. Now, if I want to do this effect that I did to my Photoshop file, it's basically like an overlay. And it's the same exact image, if you can tell. It'll look like the image continues from left to right. That's the whole point of the accordion wall. But I did a little overlay just so that it wouldn't look like the exact same background image. It gave just a little focus to the words. So let's do that. we can do that here with the edit feature. And we can go to the adjust. We can also do duotone. Do duotone just so we can make it that orangish color. All right, so this is an orange color. Don't know if it's the orange color, but let's go ahead and use that effect, and we can turn our shadows to a darker orange. Our highlights, still want it to be kind of orangey, but punchy. And like I said, I'm going to show y'all how we do this in Photoshop to just really give you the automatic effect. But I love to show you all how to do dupes in Canva, even if you don't choose to vote the Photoshop way. All right, so now I can take this and right click and copy the style, and then I can paste it here. Right click, copy the style, paste it here. Right click, copy the style, paste it here. Okay. Trying to figure out how you're able to have a black background on the sides, but I don't see them in the layers. A black background on the sides? Do I have a black background on the sides? Let's go to position. Yeah, so I can only see one panel too. This is literally just basically, I'm creating the steps that's going to allow you all, hopefully, to just drag and drop your images later in Canva. Otherwise, you're going to have to do all the steps that I just did, but I laid them out for you. But I believe you'll be able to just drag and drop your image in there. And as long as you use my step 1, which is sizing it the correct way, then you should be able to drop it into step 2. Okay. So that's why I asked if y'all want me to show you, because I could show you how to design this. But if you do the hands-on part, we're only going to get through this step. Okay. Tanisha's. Okay, so what I'll do then, I'm gonna keep going with the step 3 and 4. I'm gonna show you the mock-ups, and then that way I'll give that to you all. And for homework, you will be able to play with those files in Canva. But I do have some other features I want to show you all too. Okay, look. I know it's a lot, but you're going to be able to charge a lot too. You're going to be able to charge a lot more for this stuff than you will for t-shirts and things of that nature. All right, so I'm going to go ahead next and just put some text on here. And let's just increase the size here. Now I'm also going to show you something that is harder to do in Canva than it is in Photoshop, but I'm going to show you my method. I'm just going to go with something that's pretty thick. Let's do, what is it? Congrats, graduate class of 2026. Let's go back to Canva. I'm going to do my longest word first, which is graduate. And I just thought about something. Okay. Yeah, the other thing is, so Photoshop has a feature where you can just go type straight down. If you wanted to, yeah, we're gonna have to basically hit enter for each letter. And we're also going to, I don't think we have to hit caps locks anymore. I think they do have that now. All right, so I have to spell it out first because if I go putting the enter before each one, I will misspell it. And then I'm going to put all uppercase. So that's a beautiful thing. And then I'm just going to hit enter after each letter, which, like I said, when I show y'all Photoshop on Wednesday, it has a feature to write straight down. And then you can, I mean, it makes sense because this is time consuming. If you're wanting to get through graphics, you want to be able to flow. So I'm going to go to spacing and change the line spacing here. And you know what? Let me make it bigger first. As big as I need it to be here. Other thing is Canva does not let me disproportionately stretch out my stuff, and that's one thing I don't like either, but we will be able to do that in Photoshop. All right, so I'm pulling in the line space, and what is this? Hold on. Let me put that anchor text in the center. I didn't put an extra space, did I? Mm-mm. Oh, let me choose all of my text. And then, there we go. Had to choose all the text. I was like, something funky is going on. All right, so line spacing, I just selected everything so I can change that line spacing. All right. So now we're cooking a little bit here. So my goal is put this one up top here. And then I will just make the transparency a little bit less so I can understand what my colors are. That up. So we're doing, like I said, I'm gonna make this a template for y'all, but y'all are gonna love Photoshop. So now what I have to do is I have the color of the inside of the text, but then I also have an outline, a second outline, and a drop shadow. You can't do that with Canva at the moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the dupe way. All right, I like to go ahead and you can do one effect per layer here. So let's go ahead and make it, let's go ahead and make it the color that I want. And I'm going to use this tool here. I do like that it has like an automatic color picker. So I'll use that green as my no, I need a brighter green, that green there. And then we're going to create a stroke. So I have to go to effects, create a stroke. That one's called outline. In Photoshop, we call it a stroke. That stroke or that outline is going to be white. That's as far as I can go. Now I have to duplicate it again. So I have to duplicate that text. Then I have to add my second stroke, which if I go to effects, now my second stroke is black. And then the stroke thickness is about twice as thick. So instead of 50, I'm going to put 100 here. Then I have to go to position, move this down. And I may even want a little more than 50. Now, I'm not going to create a third layer just to get that drop shadow like I can get in Photoshop because like I said, I can show you better than I can tell you. Do, that's my mockup. That's my composite layout. This is my editable design here. And so in Photoshop, I could just double click the text. And whatever effect I did to the text will be typable. Okay. So let me get out of this and hit no to save. I'm just letting y'all know that this is why I'm confident that I can help you design this on Wednesday in one class, even if you've never touched Photoshop before. It's gonna be so much easier. All right, so but like I said, this will still be a great foundation for the Canva users. Now, I'm just gonna stop right there because I'm not doing a third layer of text because if I want to, and then what I want to do is lock down. Uh-oh, is everything working right? So in order to get like 3D text and text that have effects, I have used some of the 3D apps. The thing is, the text is not editable. So when I go back to it, if I need y'all to like think template wise, like what makes sense for a template for you. A template should be something easy to go in, change stuff, come out of, right? The harder I make it, like I can show you how to do the 3D text in Canva, but you'll just have to follow those instructions every time. It won't be directly editable. That's the only thing, right? Because it basically creates a PNG for you and it's locked down. You don't know what gold you use, what green you use. Like you have to try to recreate and write down those steps every time. And it's just not feasible if you're working through graduation. Y'all should be pumping through these designs, right? All right, so can I get that off my screen? Here we go. All right, so let me go back to position. And now that I'm happy with this one, I can go ahead and just lock this one. Right? Because I don't want to mistakenly be trying to move the text and move my stuff. So let's go ahead and get rid of stuff we don't need anymore. We can get rid of our little placeholders. We can lock our backgrounds before I start putting text on things. Okay, I can get rid of my little placeholder now. I'll leave one placeholder on. I guess I'll leave the placeholder. Oh, you won't need a placeholder. This will be the placeholder. I just don't want to make your file large for no reason because Canva does not like large files. So I have to get rid of some of this large stuff. All right, so I'm cleaning it up. Everything looks good. And now what I'll do is lock. Lock it down. Don't let it move. You did your math. Be sure of yourself. You did the math. You know what you're doing. Go ahead and lock it. Now, when you want to change that color, color overlay, you may have to unlock it then, but we won't be doing that tonight. All right, so locking this down for y'all. All right, and this is especially important for when you're doing your text because now I can grab my text and see if I go to position here, it's not even grabbing the background because I have it locked. So now when I do Control C to copy, I'm not going to put it on here. I'm going to skip one, Control V, skip one, Control V, skip one, Control V. All right. And then my text is supposed to say congrats. Graduate. And then I'm going to go in, boom, 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 boom. When I show y'all the Photoshop version of this, I just showed y'all. Y'all gonna love me for that. All right, so now I pull it underneath to get the next one. And here's what I can do. I'm not gonna play with this and retype this again. I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm going to right click, copy the style from this one, paste it on that one. Right click. And as a matter of fact, it's easier just to look at the position. That one right there, get rid of it. This one, drag underneath. There we go. Okay. So congrats, graduate. And this one is supposed to say class of. Then we got to go in here and hit enter. This is why you charge people extra too when they want to change everything about your, like to change the word. Like, how many of you all have done a design where it's like everybody wants a different picture or a different word on there? And you called yourself getting a bulk order, but you ended up designing individually for all that stuff, that's because personalization, you should have to charge extra for that. All right, so I'm gonna duplicate this. Go ahead and bring out my layers. This one right here, just bring it off to the side. Right click, copy style, paste it. Then I can get rid of this one. Right click. You can go to layer, you go to send it back. And that's why I didn't want to do send the back. You can go send backward, and that does the same thing. Yes, you can copy the style. Absolutely. I love it. Let me put that on my list. All right, so copy layer style. My Canva loves, make sure y'all let me know when it's something that y'all learning. I like that you're telling me what you're learning new. So Janet, thank you for that. This helps me understand what is helpful to you all. All right, one more. All right, so Control A selects all. If you do Control A, you know I was trying to get all of that text before. Control A does the job. And then again, all right, 2006. Move that one over, duplicate this one. Then I'm going to right click, copy the style, paste it. Right click, send it back. Get rid of that. And then I did change the size of my 2006, so it'll be better, a little bit bigger. You may want to leave it the same. And gave you all a graphic that is, oh, it'll be easier just to pull it up. Let's see. Got y'all over here. On these assets. So one of the assets are accents that I decided to use for this one was a graduation cap that you could just put on top of things if you wanted to. Don't have to, but if you want to. And you'll see how in a little bit, this is what the Automizer outputs. This is what our templates output so that you have all these elements at your disposal. I am going to also show you the difference between text that I made, and I know y'all know this is familiar. This is from 125 3D. So I finally went in here and made y'all an editable version of it. So thank y'all for staying on top of me. All right, we're gonna put the little hat on top there, bring the hat above everything else so it shows. And then I did want to show you all the difference between a Photoshop effect and what we can do in Canva. Yeah, I jumped to 2026 because y'all are gonna change it to 25, but I'm gonna make it 26 just so that for me, number one, if people take the design and try to like screenshot it and use it, it says 26, so it's not gonna be usable till next year. Then also by next year, now it looks like the design is right on time. I did that on purpose, y'all. But you all can do 25 because it's going to make the work easier for you. I did 26 because I sell templates and people copy my stuff. So there's a little bit of a difference, okay? But I would definitely tell you to do 25 because you're marketing for this 25 year. You all are going to change it to 25 in class on Wednesday. All right, so this is one of the ones y'all will be able to use, but I'm gonna get rid of that one just to kind of show what we're working with. But that is also, so when you all were talking about using those apps inside of Canva that do the 3D text, essentially they're using a program like Photoshop to render the 3D text, and then they're sending it back to Canva as a PNG. We do the same exact thing in the Automizer, except our text is editable. So if I want to go in and change that to 2025, which I'm sure y'all want to do, it's not a PNG anymore. It is an actual editable 3D text effect that you can go in and change the words, okay? So that's why I'm telling you, I'm going to show you this Canva way. I will show you the way with Canva, but I promise you there is more that you all are going to get from this, okay? So that is step 2. And I don't know why this thing keeps saying preparing live stream on my screen, but hopefully, I think y'all are still over there watching on YouTube. Let me check real quick. You know, I've been neglecting my YouTube side. Okay. All right, YouTube. Hopefully y'all getting something out of this. All right, all right. So next thing that I want to do is go ahead. So that was step two. Step two is complete. Did I forget anything? I don't believe I did. All right, so step two's done. Now I'm going to be able to download. I'm going to download these as JPEGs, only because I don't have any transparency. So in my head, if I know I'm printing something as a flat panel, I'll do a JPEG, but you could also do them as PNGs. It's basically going to save to the sides of the page here. See, crank it all the way up. And I'm going to do all 8 pages because I need all 8 panels to make, it's going to be 8 folded panels, like 8 folds to the accordion, but it is, or 8 panels, half panels. So that is only 4 boards, but 4 boards is a lot. So make sure that people are paying appropriately for this. We'll talk about pricing and that sort of thing as well. But depending on how much you get your supplies for and how hard it is to get these things in your area, you want to be charging at least 100, I would even say $200 per board that you do when you're doing design with it. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, okay? We'll talk about that a little bit later on this week because pricing is one of those things we get the most antsy about. All right, so that should have downloaded all my JPEGs. So that's step two. Whew, we're done with step two, y'all. I got step two I can give y'all now. All right, so my step one, let me just reload that tab. So step one, we're done with. Step two, we're done with. Now there's a step three and a step four. Step three is getting it ready for print. What I'm going to do in order to show you that is just go ahead and pull it up a custom size board here. Remember, it's a 4 foot by 8 foot board. We can't do 4 by 8. So I have to do half of 4 is 24. Half of 8 is 48. And make sure it says inches. Create new design. If it doesn't say inches, you are in a lot of trouble. All right. So now what I have to do, like I said, y'all gonna love my Photoshop files, but let's go ahead and get this work done. All right, so we're going to close out some of these extra things here. All right, so that was step one. What did I do with my step two? What did it download to? Let me download step two again. I don't know where it went. I don't feel like looking for it. So step two. Oh, I know. No, I can't do that. Let's download step two again. Jen, are you really enjoying this? I'm so glad. What does the quality mean anything with the JPEG and PNG? So Anita, with the quality, it is basically, it cannot increase the physical size of the product with Canva. This is as big as it's going to be able to make this canvas. But if I push up the quality really, really high, it's supposed to enhance the quality so that when I stretch it out to the actual size, because I need it to be twice as big as I'm making it, because I'm designing it at 1/2 scale, right? So now when I blow it up and my printer blows it up, it won't look crazy and it won't look like somebody did it off of their phone that weren't able to see the proper resolution. Okay. So, and I think y'all chose right because this is the reason why I want to show you this process because it's more thought that goes into it than design. Okay. And I pre-think for you when I create these designs and stuff for y'all, I kind of pre-think for you. Let's see, two, I guess I did never save it. So two accordion, so that's step two. Maybe I clicked out of it before it was done. All right, so now we got to extract those. Some steps, baby, but that's why I numbered the steps. So you all will know which came first. All right, so I'm gonna do large. So what I would do, and I'm gonna tell you, I would not prep this for the printer until I have an approval. So what I would do for my step three is the mock-up. Once I have a mock-up, then I can get approval. Then step 4 would be getting it print ready. Okay, so I know some people think, well, go ahead and get it print ready. No, because if they need any changes, you're gonna have to redo the 4th step anyway. I would not do the 4th step until I have approval. That's written approval too, not just somebody saying by word, go ahead and print. I like to have it text message, email, some type of physical proof that they said go ahead and print. Let's see, congrats. We're done with this one now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and label this one. This is going to be step 3. I lied. Step 3 is going to be a mock-up. All right, now this is the one that a lot of people said, I don't know, Shannon, I just don't think I could do this, but you can. It's a little bit of work. You can definitely do it. So I created these in a 3D program called SketchUp. A little fun thing about my past, I used to 3D model, 3D print, make things out of carbon fiber and Kevlar and all that stuff when I was recruited from textiles and the fashion design into engineering. So I know a little bit of probably everything there is to know. So I did these in SketchUp, which is a 3D program. And the reason why is I just wanted to, I wanted to get like where the shadows would drop and that sort of thing, because I'm not good with understanding where shadows go. So this program allowed me to basically render those shadows. All right. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and go to our uploads here. And let's drop in our accordion pieces. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to drop them on this board. Hopefully it didn't put all of them on the board. Normally it will put them on the board, but it did what it wanted. Okay, it did it. All right, it just needed me to be quiet. The reason why I want them on the board is because I want to see all of them together. So before I change any size, I'm just going to at least put them in the placement. So let me take a look at my other design. So class of, oh, no, I did not want to say that class of, nope. All right, congrats, graduate class of 2026. Vest, running, suit, standing. Standing, 2006. Suit, class of, well, I'm just going to stretch this out. Like I said, the actual print itself is twice as wide as the installation will be. Class of, and all I'm doing, y'all, like I said, the Photoshop template automatically does this. However, I'm gonna show y'all how to get right with these accordion walls. All right, best was first image, graduate. All right, and what I'm going to do, I just want these all kind of snapped together, just so I know about the size. And I think I did snap them, because as you're placing things, if it gets close, it will kind of snap it in position. Now I'm only concerned, oh shoot, stop playing with me. Let me go to position, layers, because this isn't like Photoshop, where I can right click and see what the name of the layer is. So I don't know what I'm touching. So I have to look over here on the left-hand side and just grab the appropriate layers. Now what I'm looking for is I want to make sure that my highest point, which is probably somewhere near the middle, my very highest point, that's the height of my entire set. Now, I didn't group them or anything. I'm just kind of creating a method to my madness here. So it'll make it easier to mark these up. All right, cool. Looks like the proper height is there. Bringing them all over. Now what I'm going to do, and this is why I say for your mock-ups, I will show you this one time. This will be the only time I show y'all this on YouTube, in the Zoom room, all of that. Because I don't believe in doing things like this over and over again, but you will have to do this over and over again if you plan on mocking inside of the Canva app, okay? But there's a way to do it because before it was like, oh, there's no way. There's a way to do it. So I'm going to take the first panel, bring it over here to the left. Like I said, I want to bring my size down where the height of it is at the peak there. And then I'm going to go to my apps. And I am looking for an app called Reshape. I'm going to hit Distort. And I'm going to pick up one of these little edges here. And I want to get to the edge of my mock-up here. And let me zoom in a little bit. I don't think it'll let me zoom until I save. Let me save it. And the other thing I should have done, let me go back a second. I'm going to keep all of that consistent. I'm one for keeping basically a copy of things. So I'm going to group these, Control G to group them. And then I'm going to duplicate it. And then this one that I have all grouped, I'm going to pull this one underneath my background image so that I'm not mistakenly tapping on it or moving anything. Then I can ungroup these, and now I don't feel bad if I mess with these because I have my original group together. All right, so now I won't feel bad getting nitty gritty. And get in there. Let's do distort one more time here. And here. Top is there. Going a little slow on me, y'all. Like I said, this is an app inside of Canva, so it is a little laggy, but it's gonna work. Make sure you hit save because if you don't, all your hard work goes away. Like I said, you have to do this each time because this is not like a frame or anything that if I wanted to drop something else into that, it won't catch it. Like it won't make another image inside of that. So literally, if you want to mock up your accordion walls, this is your process. First thing I'm going to do is make sure I got the proper height. Make sure I have the proper height. Boom, lock it in. Then change the skew there. Ooh, Lord, save. 2 panels down. Let's go. Let's get it. Isn't this fun, y'all? To my Photoshop people in the room, I should have apologized in advance because I know that this is a little tedious, but if you were doing things inside of Canva, I think this does help give you a lot of background and how to use a lot of tools in Canva because we're not used to Canva like that, right? So I went and I researched and I learned these little tools here so that I can help you all have a better experience with the Canva app because I do use Canva for my marketing materials. All right, so like I said, I'm matching up that bottom there before I do anything else. Just getting that right. You see how it's coming together, y'all? Valentine, I've truly learned a lot more about Canva. Me too, baby. I told y'all my superpower, I thought I was teaching. I'm great at teaching, I believe. I've been told. But my superpower is really learning. So when you all struggle with a problem, it is not only my pleasure, it is my honor and my privilege to help you all solve it. Oh, Lord. And that is half of it. um, let's see here. Yes, you do have to do adhesive between the boards because one board, so this one, this piece and this piece, that makes one 4x8 board, right? Because the 22-inch and a 22-inch piece is 44 inches, and then you have at least an inch tab on there. So this one board gets scored in the front, and then in the back, it is actually scored in the back so that it creates a flap for that one little inch. And then this flap adheres to the back of this panel. So you have a front score, back score, adhesive. Front score, back score, adhesive. Okay. So that's what allows us to make this this panel that is literally 16 feet, 16 feet wide because it's 4 4-foot wide boards. 16 feet is huge. But when you scrunch it up like an accordion, it ends up being somewhere around 12, 10 feet. Then mainly about 10 feet, the way that you're probably going to scrunch it. All right. And you can make it, it's like a real accordion. You can make it wider, you can make it shorter, depending on what kind of space you have there. All right. So I'm going to save this. That's part 3. I want to show you part 4, which is getting it print ready, right? So let's say that the client loves it. And when they see this, they better love it. You better love it. All right. So, and like I said, I see it gone a little far too down there, but I'm being a little hard on myself right now. Here's a bonus here. I'm going to unlock this and go to position. You could take the same image, duplicate it, and put it on top. Just make sure that locked in the same position here. And then I'm going to take this transparency, pull it down. And it adds a little bit, see how it adds a little bit of that shadow into it? If I were in Photoshop, then I could do, well, technically, I could do the multiplying technique where the multiplying layer effect makes it look like it's pressed, like that shadow is actually pressed on there. But there are some adjustments you can do here. You can increase the shadows of the layer. You can increase the blacks. It's not really, it's doing a little bit, not doing too much. I'm just creating a little more contrast so that you see that shadow in there. But that's something most people don't take the time to do in Canva, but you can absolutely do that. So I have this one here that I am going to unlock. This is the one I did in Photoshop for y'all. And then I'm going to pull down the opacity here. Here we go. Makes it look a little more realistic. Chris says, man, I'm moving to Photoshop ASAP. I feel you. Like I said, and I'm gonna show you some things on Friday that you're gonna be like, oh no, I need Canva too, because I want to show you all with this. Photoshop does motion graphics too, right? But it was just so easy for me to just drop my PNGs in here that I got from my Automizer from Photoshop and drop all of them in here, let them move my little shirts around, so now it has a little visual interest. So on Friday, if you all do what I need you to do this week, then I will give you this template file. And what you'll be able to do is when you flip your template, you can just drop your images in here with the same layer effects and go on about your business. Like I'm telling y'all, we're gonna do some. Now this is a template, a Canva template, because I can just literally drag and drop my images and replace the images once I do a flip. Okay, so that's what I want to give. I will give y'all the video on Friday just to give it to you so that you have something to promote. But if you want the editable version of this, where you can go into each of these frames, it's already got a little motions in there. You just drag and drop your new images on there. Y'all gonna have to get right and show out, okay? And I will help you show out. All right, so back to this, the last step. Okay, so I've taken you from the initial design to the split of the design to mocking it up. And then step number 4 is going to be, hey, my customer is ready to print. Let me send this design file to the printer. Now, this is not a regular design file where you could just put the image on a 4x8 board and just go. This is 2 images per board. Okay, so what we're going to do is same thing here. We should be able to actually go on over. I'd rather drag and drop them again all together because I want them to come in all as the same size in the same place. Let's drag and drop them. And that was all of them selected. It's going to take a little while for them to upload into the uploads. All right, cool, cool. All right, so I'm going to take every last one of them. I'm going to go to position and I'm going to center them so that they all have the same starting position. I'll lock them up to the top corner here. Not lock them up, but just snap it to that top corner. Then I'm going to pull down and make sure that I snap and hit the bottom. Now, what I will do here is I'll go ahead and lay out my order. Let's go to layer so that when I reproduce this, they're in order. If I remember correctly, it was vest. And I'm just going to pull it towards the bottom so I can see vest. Then congrats. Then action football. Action football. Then graduate. The Photoshop template automatically puts them in order for you. Don't worry. Graduate. And then suit. Then it was class of. If I'm wrong, let me know because I'm using my brain right now, my memory. All right, so in order, it should be 2006. No, I should end up with a photo last. Photo, boom, this, boom. I guess you could do it either way, but I think I had it to where yep, congrats was first. So here, here, here. Oh, stop playing with me. And here. Is that right? Congrats was first. Perfect. So congrats, then photo. Okay. Woo! Y'all better remember this now. Remember this when I'm saving you all this time on this Photoshop file. All right, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab this one. Oh, I lied. I'm going to grab the second one. Why is it not grabbing the second one? Stop playing with me. Let's go to position. Oh, because it's on top. So I have to pull it below it. So when I touch it, I can grab this one. See, in Photoshop, when you have a image selected, it doesn't matter what's on top or below, it will only move that thing. Okay. All right, so that's that. And then here's the thing, you have to make sure that it snapped to that edge there. And really you should end up right on 22 inches. Okay. All right, so that is my panel number 1. So I'm going to duplicate this page, duplicate this page, duplicate this page. 4 panels, 4 boards, 8 panels. Okay. So this is board number 1 is good to go. I'm going to get rid of all the excess stuff behind those. I would not delete that until I, complete with all my stuff. Right. So I don't need board numbers or panel number 1 and 2 anymore. Now I'm on panel 3 and 4. I got to put this panel below this panel just so I can move the photo. Boom. And see how it snaps? If I get close, it snaps. So congrats, graduate. Now this one should be class of, so I should be able to get rid of the first 4 panels. All right, class goes below. Move that over. Boom, boom. And y'all, the way we laid this out, see how the elbow continues from here? So it'll look like the elbow continues from the previous panel when it's in that accordion configuration. All right, so that's it for there. Last board with the last 2 panels. I'm going to delete everything but the last 2 panels and drag this underneath. Move my photo to the end, make sure it snaps. And also what I was doing, I didn't tell y'all this, I was holding down shift. You see how it's only going side to side? If I wasn't holding down shift, I'd be doing all of this and you can almost guarantee you're going to mess it up. So let me go back, show you what I was doing. Hold shift, because the reason why I know this, because I know Photoshop and it works in Photoshop. Okay. Let me go back to where it was in original position. Hold down shift and then move it. See that? Now, if you're using a Mac, then normally if I'm doing control, you're doing command. I don't believe there's a difference in shift. All right, let me zoom out a little bit. Woo, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, like I said, I'm making y'all a Canva template. So now I'm going to go in and put where you're going to put your adhesive tape. You're going to go grab you a shape. And if I go to position, I can see the width of this. So the width of the shape, I want it to be, I'm going to make it a little bit more than 1 inch. I'm going to make it, well, I'm going to make it 2. It won't quite be 2 because 22 is 44. Yeah, I can do 2 inches. So I'm going to make it 2 inches wide. And then my height, oh no, I'm going to make it 1 inch wide because I lied, right? We're designing a half scale. So if I want it 2 inches, I have to design 1. Just like I said, this stuff is trippy with all of these measurements. And then the height, instead of 96, it's going to be 48. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to change that color to white. But I'm going to I'll put an effect on it later just to give it a little border. Let me get in there, sir. All right. Let's choose a border here. We'll put a little border weight on there. Like when I do a border, I like for my border color to barely be a color. So a less than medium gray is good for me, as long as I can see it. Because what I don't like is when I do hard black lines and you cut just a little bit into that line, you see the black. So I like to use a very medium light type of color for my outlines. All right, so I am putting that there. Snapped it to that edge, and now I'll put a little word on here for y'all. Let me grab some text. And depending on if you're doing this as, so I'll tell you all how to cut it. Right now we're just figuring out where to place the adhesive. So I'm gonna put adhesive here. And let me make this a bit larger. I will not be trying to type that any other way. And let's go 90 degrees here. Now this, I will do a darker color just because I want you to be able to see that. Make sure I spelled adhesive right. All right. That's it, y'all. And then maybe you want to put it in more than one place, so I can Alt click and did y'all know if you Alt click and drag it, it makes a duplicate just like Photoshop. Alt click and drag. So hold down Alt, click it, drag it, hold down Shift if I want to keep it in that same. I don't want it to go left and right. I only want to go up and down. So adhesive here. Now I can hold down Shift because I'm going to select both of these. Do Control C to copy. Oops, you know, I need a little box too. Go ahead and give it to me. There you go. Control C. Grab it all. Control V. Control V. Control V. It goes in the same place every time. Woo! Now, I do typically also make these little edges here at an angle. I do not cut straight across there. Um, I don't think it's worth it building a custom shape in here just to show that, but it will be in Photoshop. But yes, you can just, with your blade, just cut it at an angle. It makes it easier to not see this little extra piece of the board popping out from the top if it just happens to be a little misaligned. All right, so that was, what step did I call that? This should be step 4. Let's reload. All right, let's see. Can I get to this here? Will it let me? Oh no, I deleted something. Deleted a lot of something. Okay. I am attempting to title this. Okay, there we go. I have something that says preparing live stream from Zoom permanently on my screen, so it won't let me type in here easily. So we're going to call this is step 4. And this is print ready. Okay. This is your print ready file. Now, in order to actually send this to the printer, they probably want them as separate files. They don't want them as like one PDF that has all the pages in it. Sometimes they may tell you they want it as a PDF, but they still prefer each layer as its own PDF. So I'm just going to save them as PNGs or JPEGs just to make sure that I get individual files. All right, so here we could do JPEG. Now, I will tell you this, if you are printing on, let's say clear vinyl, let's save it as PNG. So just in case you have something that has a transparent background, depending on what you're printing on, I'm teaching you large format scaling. So it does apply if you're getting clear decals and things printed as well. If you save it as a JPEG, it will have a white background. So let's do a PNG, crank that size all the way up. Make sure you hit transparent background. Even if you don't have a transparent background, that's just a good, just good practice. All right, and that's going to be 4 pages. Now I hit download. Yes, Coach Nancy is our Mac expert. So she says it works for Mac too. Awesome. All the shortcuts I was telling you all. Ooh, y'all. This right here. All right, so I am going to be giving y'all all 4 of these steps. This is what we were supposed to be doing hands-on today. I had a feeling we would not be able to, even if we did hands-on, we wouldn't have made it to this step. I would have just had to show it to you. This is a lot. It is, y'all. All right, so this is our step 4. And then let me go ahead and do step 3. I didn't even finish step 3 because technically step 3, I should have completed my mock-up here. So just imagine the cubes are the same thing. I do have cubes for you all. You all can practice that. Let me grab my little cubes. Let me figure out where I put them for y'all. Let's see. There it is, right here. So let's see how many of you all even want to do this. It's the same process to do the cubes that I did with the accordion. But I did give you some cubes. Now, the purpose of this too is you can choose, hey, do I want to do 2 cubes, 3 cubes, 4 cubes? But the reason why I had to do them all together is because depending on how many cubes you have, the visuals change. You see how I don't see the top of this one, but when I only have 2, I do see the top. If I have 1, I see the top here, but I don't necessarily see the top here. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick that I have for you all with the cubes. If y'all, since y'all said y'all wanted the bonus, and we didn't have to, because this would have been a little gruesome to get through on Canva with everybody hands on. I'm not gonna lie. Even my Photoshop people probably will be struggling with this. This is a lot. I have something for you. So we have the accordion wall and the cubes that automatically mock up. Boom. Double click on the graphics, change that out, add whatever you want there, hit yes to save the changes, and it changes the graphic. This is side 4, which I don't see side 4 on here. So let me go back. Oh, it did change it. Let's go to my history. Oh, it changed it right there. You see that? So everywhere side 4, we're showing it changed that. So to my Canva folks, how do y'all feel about learning Photoshop on Wednesday now? Are y'all excited? Are y'all still scared? How are you feeling? Because I wanted to show you the Canva way because I know y'all are locked in on Canva. But I really, really, really feel like once you see that you can do it, you will do it. So even if you've never touched Photoshop before, all I need you to do on Wednesday is just have Photoshop downloaded on your computer. That's it. Make sure that it works. Like open it up, make sure you don't have no faulty version or it's crashing your computer or anything like that. So D, even using Affinity, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how these things work on the Photoshop side. The way that we have them together. Now, Affinity, just like Canva, I can make ways that it can do Photoshop type things, but the way this workflow works together, when you all are designing, when I tell you you can design this whole event, I'm gonna hit no to save those changes. This whole event, all of these pieces, you can design and mock up and have your printables and have your colorways and have your photos in less time than I showed you how to do this one accordion wall tonight. If y'all believe me, I want y'all to just see on Wednesday. Okay. We're going to design one accordion wall together on Wednesday. That's it. I'm going to show you how to do some of the other products like the cube and stuff, but we're going to design one accordion wall together and you're going to be able to go into the other products. Now, when I give y'all the template, I'm giving y'all 3 things. You're going to do this accordion wall, you're going to do cubes, and you're going to do not the arch. I guess you could do the arch. Maybe we'll do 4 things then. Then maybe we'll do 5 things. I'm getting so excited for y'all. Okay. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to give you a file that has the arch, the accordion wall, the cubes, the backdrop set, and I'm not going to do this specific backdrop set. I'm going to do a simpler one because I want you all to do it by yourself. I'm going to drop y'all off after I do the hardest things with you, which is probably the accordion wall. Now it doesn't look so hard because y'all have seen it the Canva way. And then you all will do your backdrop and your floor wrap and how about, so that's a 5-piece. And basically those are almost all the 5 pieces that you need to sell an event design. What do y'all think? We ready? We scared? Let me know something. Y'all got quiet on me in the chat. Ready and scared. I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, tell me the truth because this is what gets me excited. When you all come through and you conquer your fears of Photoshop on Wednesday, trust and believe you are going to be pumping these out. Okay. We call it flipping. You're going to be flipping templates in no time. Okay. And I got you. And you'll have the replay as well. So on Wednesday, we're going to get through it in class. Like, you know how y'all watch me on my screen tonight? On Wednesday, my screen won't be showing. Your screen will be showing. And I will be helping you all get through it. I just knew this was a lot to push you through. Matter of fact, it was a lot for me to get through. It's 9 o'clock now. Although I did it slowly and I took my time and I walked through it, this was a lot, y'all. Took me pretty much 2 hours to teach. So it would take you probably a little more than 2 hours to create what we just created. I'm going to show you how to do what we just did in minutes once you learn how to flip it in Photoshop. Yep, Coach Nancy's right. Our motto is no creative left behind. All right, so let me show y'all what y'all gonna send to this printer though, because we did it, but I need us to understand some things. All right, so our step 4, when it's print ready, I'll extract it just so I can show you all what's in this folder. And this is what you would send off to your printer, okay? Now, I have a vendor I am working with right now who is doing special pricing for those who complete classes with Innate Academy on the large format and get their certificate. So when you all finish this class, you will get a certificate. That certificate lets this vendor know that you understand how to format and send your large format graphics and that you have worked with me. When you have that, and Broderick, you know exactly who I'm talking about here. So you will be able to use that certificate to get special pricing. And the pricing is substantially lower than stickers, banners. And all she's doing is printing the vinyl, sending it to you with professional printer. We also have is Coach Najla here tonight? Coach Najla has a printer. Her printer prints up to 36 inches wide. So we have some folks that will be on our vendors list. So if you do have a large format printer and you are in the Craft to Quit program, please message me on either Facebook or Instagram. Let me know that what size printer you're able to print, like how wide you can print and what printer you have. All right. You don't have a timeline, love. Whenever you feel that you have completed it, it's not like you have to, but I'm going to make sure that you get your certificate by Friday. Because some of y'all want to be getting these prints out, right? Some of y'all want to go ahead and contact these vendors and get at least a sample job in. All right, and then I will be scheduling an online tutorial of laying these boards out. Okay. And Dee, you'll know when we finish on Friday, as long as you went through everything that we went through, you will get your certificate. Okay. And we'll talk about that on Friday too. We'll have graduation on Friday. All right. So there are some more things I want to show you all on Canva. I can show you all in about 30 minutes if you all want to hang out just for me to show you how to do. Yeah. And even if y'all don't hang out, if y'all tired and y'all ready to go and y'all like, look, I'm ready for the Photoshop day. Cool. That's cool. I want to also be able to show you all. I have some more things I want to show you on Canva. And unfortunately, it does take a little time to teach Canva. All right, so we already talked about how to remove the background of a photo. So I want to go through. I'm going to close out of this one. This one did. Save as number 4. That's my print ready. And it also should say print ready. Should say accordion. Okay. All right, so those 4 parts are ready. Then let's go ahead and I'm going to do a design here and show you how to basically resize it. So let's say we're doing a 13 by 19, or actually I usually my t-shirts, I do an all over version. So I do 44 inches wide and 36 inches tall. So how we do our template on Wednesday in Photoshop, I'm doing the Canva version of it. All right, and this is going to go pretty quickly here. I'm going to go over to my uploads, and what I'm going to upload is I'm going to upload my elements here. So when you all get a chance to design on Wednesday in Photoshop, the way that I design is more like a program, like AI. My brain's been working like AI before there was AI. All right, so the way that I like to design is I like to understand that there are elements that I'm going to reuse over and over again. And I'm just going to pull these over. I showed you how to add text, so we don't have to go back over that. I did want to show you how to fade off a photo. These are all the elements that the Automizer uses. So when I'm building my design, I need a background. Remember, I told y'all 4 elements. Who can tell me those 4 elements that most of our designs are going to be comprised of? That's my background. I'll give you a hint. Now, this background is enhanced by AI, but what I did was I'll show y'all on Wednesday. Let me see here. This is why I love Photoshop, y'all. Y'all are actually going to flip this design. Do-do-do-do-do. Modes. I'm looking for where it came from. I don't see it. I think it's like 3XX or something. I'll have to find the file for y'all. But I don't have to find it. Y'all experience the file on Wednesday. You'll have this little energy ball here. You'll be changing these colors. So you'll have your own colors, number 1 and 2. It'll change the colors of the graphic here. And then you'll put your own image of the city, or if you want to, we are generating some AI images that we'll be able to put in there. We're doing that tomorrow. So tomorrow is AI day. Do not miss AI day. Whether you just watch or you participate in AI, the whole principle of it is going to help you with your design. All right, so I'll show y'all that later. All right, so background here, let's do foreground. So that's my little foreground that's already set up inside of Photoshop. That's basically going to automatically design. But remember when I was telling you about that 3D text, if you do the 3D text, it's not editable. So you just end up pretty much with a template that looks something like this. Oops, first name, last name. Congrats. And then we have our word graduate somewhere in here. And this is just like a little principle of design. So you can do that 3D text. And how that works is you would come over to your apps. And the one I've used before is called Text Maker. It won't look like this because this is our Photoshop ones, but you'll be able to find something that still looks, and you have to look for the one that doesn't say Pro. I'm going to choose that one that says Silver, and the text will be Graduate. And I'm going to look for kind of a script handwritten type font here. Ew, that one doesn't look good. Ew. Hmm, that one's okay. So I'll have that, and then I'll just hit add to design, add to design. And then if I want to change the color of it, I go to edit. You can go to your duotone. I'm going to choose this, but that's not what I really want. I can use the color picker here to grab my gold right there. Now let's get a little bit yellow with that. Oh, that's my highlights. I need my highlight color right there. And then my shadows. Get a deeper gold there. And get a little more color. See how it's just ain't the same, not quite the same. But I can, look, I can do some things with Canva now. If I had to, I could do a couple things with Canva. But honestly, I like the one in Photoshop better. But that's the whole 3D. I wanted to show you all that. So that marks off 3D text off of my list. Was that new for anyone? Okay, cool, cool. So even if you're making like your marketing stuff inside of Photoshop, it does have the ability to do some 3D text. Right? Okay, so that marks that off my list. Who needs to see how to fade off a photo? Like you got the hard lines on the photo, you want to see how to fade it off, and they actually have an app in here that does it now rather than using the feathered off solid color. Okay, so y'all want to see that? Cool. So next, I'm just gonna put my little pieces over here just so I can say I showed y'all. All right, let's go ahead and add a photo here. I'm going back up to uploads. And let's grab main image here. I'm going to call that the main image. And I want this to focus more on upper torso area here. And then we're going to fade that off at the bottom. So in order to fade it off, let me make it a little smaller first so you can see how much is on here. We're going to go to our apps again. And this one is, where is it? Image blender. I don't see, and it may be here. I don't see it, so I'm going to type in blender and go to image blender. I couldn't tell if it was on there. There it is. All right, so you have to choose which image you want to do. So I'm going to put blend the selected image. It automatically goes in this direction, which I would assume with everything everybody's doing, it would go the other direction, but hey, just flip it, move your nodes here. So if you get it closer together, you get less of a fade off, tighter. And then if you move it apart, you get a more substantial fade off. So that looks good to me right there. Ah, shoot. If you don't hit save, it does that. All right, so that was a good lesson there. Let's fade that off, hit save. All right, and then I'll go position, layers, bring that towards the back. All right, so that's how we fade off an image. Check. Let's see. We remove background, fade off, 3D text. Was there anything else my Canva users wanted to see how to do? I'm going to show you how to do a mock-up for floor wrap. I already showed you how to do the accordion cubes the exact same way. You're going to have to do every face of those cubes. All right, cool, cool. So let's do the last thing I wanted to show you all how to do was to resize an image. Let's see here. Let me get rid of that one. And let's grab all of this together. A little smaller because let's say that is the center of my image. And this could be used for Instagram. It could be used for t-shirt, background, doesn't matter. But this is what I want to show you about the whole designing your backdrops and resizing them. So I did want to show you all this. Let me go ahead and create new custom size. This one is going to be 24 by 48. It's going to be basically a 4x8 board, but we designed it in half scale. And let's just say this is something you played around with, you like the design of it, or let's say this is a template that you have from anyone. And you want to basically use this stuff here. Let's start some more stuff on there. Let's add class of 2026. Let's add the grad cap. Let's add the logo. Those are basic pieces. And then I'm just going to design real quick. Turn that, put that there. Bring the opacity down. And go to my position, drag that below photo. And literally, I'm just making a template, just like the one from our Photoshop file. So you all will get this template too. Now this for me is a lot quicker, not a little bit, a lot quicker to design. And I'm doing it off of memory and I didn't have to. Let's see, what else are we missing here? This is what I wanted to show you all. So in my Photoshop file, this one is kind of watermarked in the background. So the way that I achieved that is watermarked and it's changed more to a black and white image. So it takes on the color of the background here. So I will let's change the transparency to around about 33, 34 is good. And then let's go to edit. You see how it still has like its skin tone colors and all of that? It's kind of conflicting a little bit. I want it to look like it's just a watermarked image in the sky. So I'm going to go to adjust. Then I'm going to go to saturation. Saturation is how intense those colors are. I'm going to bring the saturation all the way down to 0, which makes it a black and white image. And then drag that behind. The only reason why this layout looks simple too is because I already did all the major steps in Photoshop. So don't let that fool you. So class of 2026, I'm gonna put that below his shirt there. And then there is the running football image. Make that smaller here. And you can even fade off the bottom of that one if you'd like. If you don't want to see the feet poking through there, but that one is actually okay. Let's see here. Is that it? All right, so that was watermarking the background. And finally, I'll show you how to design a floor. Well, we're going to resize this and then design a floor wrap to go with the backdrop image here. And I am going to take that, bring it all the way behind the image. So just in case you want to know what happened to that 3D one, it is just behind everything. All right, so saving that. Now, somebody said you wanted to know how to take a Canva design and put it into the Automizer. Who was that? Who wanted to see how to do that? Okay, Sonia. Okay. So let's say you already have a Canva design and you have it laid out something like this. You want to, number one, just go ahead and download the full thing as a JPEG so that you have a flattened version of it. But also, we can go ahead and download. I choose PNG, crank up the size here, put transparent background. Oh, not PNG, my apologies. We're going to do this one as PDF standard. We don't flatten. And what's going to happen is all of these elements that you used inside of Canva for your design will be able to be pulled into Photoshop. So the grunge background without the hard lines, just fading off the edge of the grunge with the layer mask, just like we fade off the edge of the photos, same exact thing. Now, um, oh, Felicia, I know what you're talking about. It just depends on, I use brushes to make my grunge mask. So if you use brushes, it's not going to have any hard lines, as long as you don't get close to the edge. That's why I stay far away from my edge. All right, so let's say, I'm just going to call this one our 44 by 36 all over. And see, what I do is I design an all over shirt first, and then everything else comes from there. So I just design one thing, all over shirt, boom. And just like I showed you earlier, we're not going to get into the Automizer tonight. We actually don't do Automizer until Thursday, but I can give you a preview. So we're letting Canva give us our elements. Let me make sure I'm wrapped up on Canva. Right, and for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the Automizer came up with for backdrop and for wrap, but we're going to mock it up here. So what the Automizer does, and you'll get these files as long as you are in the, as long as you're in the challenge in Craft Equip. So these are all the things that I already had saved for you all. Oh, it doesn't go that far over. All right, so you have a card, wind spinner, you got the just like a temporary kind of balloon mock-up situation that automatically changes colors based on your design, vertical banner, horizontal banner, backdrop banner, retractable banner, drink menu. This is the template that we're going to be working on at the end of the month challenge. It's more like an elegant template. I think you all will like that. I did an event for a multimillionaire with that design, so I turned it into a template for you all. I did this design here for a multimillionaire, and we're turning into a template design. Blankets. This is bookmark, cheer bowl. So this might be stuff that they want, to attend graduation. And some of the things are gifts for the grad. Some of the things are gifts for the party or event. So these are parts of the Automizer. This is what I take one image, one t-shirt design. It breaks down these elements, and these elements automatically apply to this template set. Okay, so the Automizer is an $800 file. However, if you are in Craft to Quit, you will not be paying $800. Okay, and I will also have an opportunity to do a live class where we make sure the Automizer works on your computer, and I walk you through it. And I'll have something special to offer you all on Friday for that, if you're ready to walk through the Automizer. But you're going to do a mini Automizer on Thursday. It's usually about 3 to 5 products. Okay. And it'll just basically, I'm still clicking, y'all. Any of this stuff you think graduates need. And for my folks that are on the Zoom, if you comment under or comment on my latest Facebook post or Instagram post on N8 Academy on the business page, and you comment the word Friday, it will give you all of these mock-ups already with this design on it for free. And it will also, oh no, it won't give you that. It'll give you the AI models. Did I give y'all these? I can't remember what it gave y'all for free, but that's what y'all are getting for free this Friday. So since you're here with me late night and during the week and it's not Friday yet, it's just mock-ups. You can't edit them now, but these mock-ups will allow you to make money because you can show people that you are offering these products and these designs. All right, so almost to the end. I believe it's 93 images here, y'all. 93 images. And those images are what I used to create this. Does that look familiar? So now you all will be able to, once you flip your template, if you have the full Automizer, then you'll be able to just drag and drop your changed out images right into this file. Okay, so that's what it's I have a lot of layers hidden here, but it's a lot of different sets of items. All right, and when you're talking about bringing things into the Automizer, if you were wanting to bring your Canva version in, then we had, oh, I think there it is. So we have to right click, open with Photoshop, tell it that we want all the image, and I don't need that one. Boom, boom, boom. So this would have been your Canva design. Hit OK. Then each of those images are going to open up here. Just like we saved before each of them, save each of them as a PNG. And now you can put those into the Automizer. Now, if you're inside the challenge, you don't have to comment anything. Inside the challenge, you're getting all of these images anyway. And that'll help you set up for your Shopify store. And I don't know if we're gonna have a Shopify day. Y'all need to let us know if you want to do a day where you set up your Shopify products in your page, like the entire layout and design for your graduation page. If you want to do that, that is a boot camp, and I'm considering I'm only doing 4 boot camps. So I want to know what 4 boot camps y'all want to do. You can do Etsy as well. As a matter of fact, we always promote you to use Etsy as a lead magnet so that it can push it to your store or your eventual store. If you don't have your own store, your own Shopify store, e-commerce store yet, then definitely I would be using Etsy. But you need to be pulling them to where you own the client and their information. What happens right now, Etsy owns that any client that's on their platform. So you definitely want to have a way to pull them onto your own platform. We'll talk about that too. Good stuff. All right, so that's the background. You would have saved that. That's the logo. You would have saved that as a PNG. I don't know why that ended up upside down. I think because it was that was one of the ones that was faded off, but it didn't actually save the fade off. So that's interesting that it didn't save that fade off version. But we know how to fade it off over here on the Photoshop side. Now I did save this faded off version. Oh no, we didn't fade off that one. We just turned it black and white when we changed the transparency. And the reason why it was upside down, I couldn't tell you. I'm trying to think why would it have been upside down, but I couldn't tell you. All right, so these would have been all of the pieces that we need. And I'm going to show you here on the Automizer. We'll do that on Thursday though. Does this look familiar? These are the elements that we need in order to automize our design and make all of these. And here's the good thing about the Automizer. It's not just a mockup tool. It makes your mockups and your printable files at the same time. So just let you know, we're going to be in for a treat. All right, so one more thing I needed to do, kind of got carried away with pulling that from Canva to the Automizer. But if I'm going to resize this whole thing, I'm going to go over here to my position, my layers, grab everything from the top to the bottom. I just like to look at it on the layers panel, make sure I'm not missing anything. Do Control C to copy. Now this is a 4x8 board. Then I paste it. And then you get to see, oh, wow, this doesn't really fit my 4x8 board. How do I make that work? You can take your background here, make the background a little bit bigger. That's the simplest thing. Move some of your elements around. Go to your layers, figure out what's good. Make sure you do not have text towards the edge of your board. Like give yourself bleed area and text safe area. All right, I feel comfortable about that. Maybe now I take my logo, put it a little bit up, put a little bit more into the sky. Take my fade off image. So now it's just a matter of orientation. It's no longer a wide image, it's a tall image. So I have to play with those elements to get things where I want them. And that's how I resize my stuff. I don't make a JPEG of it and then try to resize it. It's not going to work like that. Okay. But now this is ready to print as a 4x8 standee. Speaking of which, let me give y'all this too. So now I can take this whole thing right here. Make sure I have everything selected. I'm going to give y'all these, all of these. Let's do Control C. Because y'all were patient with me tonight. So this is the template 2. This is actually template number 260, which is a t-shirt design. And I just resized it for a board. Now, I would not print this as a 4x8 board. I might do maybe a board like this 4x8, and maybe this would be a 7-foot, you know how you kind of stagger them? I would do that. So my last step I wanted to show y'all. So this is, I don't need this one because I have it saved here. What else was I gonna give y'all? Because I planned on staying till 10. And it is about that time. I knew Canva was gonna be a little sticky. So for the Canva, what I'm going to do, I'm not requiring you all to do Canva work tonight because honestly, I'm going to give you the links, but it's late and I feel like Canva is drawing out the process way more than we would do on Photoshop. So I'm just going to give them to you for the sake of you having the Canva files and feeling confident and playing with some of the concepts that we learned tonight, okay? So do not worry about Canva homework tonight. What I want you to do for your homework and customer happiness, we can edit the homework, the working document. What I want you to do is tell me 3 things that you learned tonight, and then 1 thing that you want to learn next when it comes to Canva. Only Canva, okay? All right, only Canva. So of all the things I talked about tonight, and I'm still going to do a little something extra. So we got this one. So now I'm going to show you how to basically make your mockups or make your image to where it's going to fit inside of an art. So let's say you want to do a search for an arch here. And we're basically just looking for a frame. And like I said, one thing I don't like about Canva, I make my own frames in Canva. That's a whole nother class, a whole nother time, because here, let's do this. Let's throw a couple frames on here. Just so you all get the point. Let's do a tall, skinny one, then we'll add the shorter one. Okay, so I'll take all of these together. And I'm going to anchor them to the bottom left. And then I'm going to increase the size here. I want you to make sure that your arch is not going past this area here because you end up hand cutting these things anyway. All right, so now I'll take these. You cannot. So in Photoshop, you can create a layer mask that will take all these different layers and it'll clip it to one clipping path and it'll have a nice, neat little package and it will cut out the contour. You can only put one layer at a time inside of a frame in Canva. So the workaround to that is you have to take this image and what I can do, and I want to show y'all this too, go to hide page. If you don't want it to include that page and whatever it is that you download, go to hide page. Now I'm going to go to download. And again, I'm going to download these as JPEGs because they're not transparent backgrounds. But if you had any transparency, download them as PNGs. I do that on purpose so I know something that has transparency if it is a PNG. All right, so cranked it all the way up. I'm going to hit download. This is what you're going to do when you send this off to a printer, whether you're doing arches or whatnot. So this is going to count for your mock-up and getting this print ready. All right, so letting that do that as it is. And then while that's working, I'm going to take all of these arches here. And let me just make sure that I have them all selected. I'm going to do Control C to copy, Control V to paste. They're probably going to be huge. Oh no, it dropped it in there sizably. Let's see what we have going on here. All right, so you'll get to decide, what type of configuration you want here. You can even make them smaller, don't make them any bigger. The reason why I say that is because remember, we just sized them to where they're all pretty much the width of the board. If you make them bigger, you won't be able to understand how that's really going to scale. And if you were going to use this one, you probably do this one here. I'm going to set it forward a little bit. Actually, that'll probably go back. All right, so that's finally done. So the board's ready. All right, so now my board designs finally downloaded here. I'm going to extract those. And I'm just going to drag and drop them onto the regular artboard right now, like just the outside of the canvas, not inside of any frame. It's probably going to take its time. Okay. And then what I could do is decide which images I want to put inside of which frames. And I'm just kind of randomly putting them in for right now, just so you can see that they can just snap in. And then if you want to change the size or what shows there. I just want to show you that sometimes something that you put in there isn't even going to make sense. It just doesn't look right. Maybe that image could work. But for something like this, a reason why I like Photoshop is that I can play with putting multiple images into a frame and moving those individual components around so I can see what I like. And you'll see how that works on Wednesday. Okay. So if you wanted a square frame, let me throw a couple of squares on here as well. And I was gonna do all of this without y'all, but I realized so many things are like selling as templates. They're not really templates as much as they are understanding how to work with the elements in Photoshop. Oh, that was the wrong thing to do. I need to put, I need a frame. So let's say if I want to make sure my frame is going to be proportionate with the others, then I'm going to cut it out from here. I'm going to put it onto this one. And this is just so that I know it is proportionate. That's not what I want to do. No, look at those arches there. Give me snapping it down to the bottom here. I'm going to bring it proportionately out first, and then that's as big as I can make that rectangle. That's basically a 4x8 there. That's not how I design in Photoshop, but that is just a technique that you can use here. And because I didn't bring it in and resize it with all the other ones, what I'm going to do is just make sure that it is the same width as, let's say, for instance, this one. And then that way, if I wanted to do a square layout, do that as well. And I have some different shapes and things. Now, one thing I do like about Canva, I like the ability just to like easily place things and move things around. Let me get rid of everything except my rectangles on this one. So that's the reason why I like Canva a lot for doing these things, because I'll just, kind of throw some products on here and play around with how it arranges. And then when I add a little bit of animation to it, like this one has the tectonic animation, then it just makes it look a little more interesting, visually striking than just a flat image that I would do in Photoshop. So there is a reason why I use Canva, very much so. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take some of those images and while they're there, then I can drag and drop them. And let's say I want to do these two as standees, and then I want to do an 8x8 in the center. Take that one, hit delete. I want to delete the image, not the frame. And this one, I basically want to carry that one out to the height is 642. I want the width to be 642. If I want it to be an 8x8, that's close enough. All right, and then I could take I'm going to take my tall image here. And this would be L. So remember when I made this image, this one I need by itself as a JPEG, because I can't put all of this stuff into that frame. It has to be a flat image, which I can do that in Photoshop. I cannot do that in Canva. So you end up in this position where you end up merging a lot of things, reusing it, merging it, changing it up, merging it again. And when I say merging it, that's basically when you're flattening a file into a JPEG or a PNG so that you can place it in the frames and do this. All right, all right. So now, oops, JPEG, download that one. So this, and then I will show you how to do a floor wrap mock-up, because the floor wrap design is identical to how we just did this. Okay, identical. And pull that back a little bit. And I need to save that one. It's 44 by 36. Look at this, y'all. We are done. All right, so now I have dropped it in there. Go back to the top end. And let's go ahead, bring this down in size a little bit so I can see my floor wrap. Control minus will zoom you out. So I just did control minus so I can zoom out a little bit, because I have more ceiling in this image than I need. I really need to see more of the floor. Okay, good deal. So now I have more floor. See a little bit of those windows up there. That's cool. Control minus, I'm zooming out a little bit. And I'm going to get rid of that one. So let's go ahead and bring in our floor wrap that I've already done. So I'll drag and drop this floor wrap onto here. It's not quite a floor wrap yet. What's going to make it a floor wrap? If it's supposed to be an 8x8 floor wrap, I want it to be about the same width as my 8x8 backdrop because I want it to be realistic. So that's an 8x8. If I were doing a 10x10, I would make it proportionately larger. Okay, and then from here, same idea as before. We're going to go to our apps and go to the reshape. I'm going to hit distort. Let me cancel that. All right, and then I'm using the lines kind of in the room. So the floor starts here. Make it even across here. And I know what I wanted to do. I want to make it my largest size first. There we go. So that'll be the largest point. Then I'll distort and bring it down. 1 and bring it down. 2. I did it again. Distort. At least y'all get to see me do it one more time. And Photoshop, when I let go, it keeps it. So I'm kind of used to that. And this thing is it's playing with my emotions a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Hit save. All right, so learn from my mistakes, y'all. And then I will put this one at the bottom so that it is underneath these here. And you can also add a little drop shadow to this board to make it look like it has a little bit of depth. So go to Edit, Shadows, add a drop shadow. You can also add this, this thing is called a backdrop drop shadow. I really like this one, or a backdrop shadow. So see how you can see the floor and how the shadows going from there. You can sort of follow that and change the direction of the shadow, the blur amount. And again, the intensity is how dark it is. All right, and then the color. A little bit of a reddish shadow there. And I'm trying to see where the shadow would actually be. I'm going to make it go this way just for the sake of demonstration. All right, so that's that. At least I didn't have to hit anything to do that. I want to copy that style, paste that style, copy that style, paste that style, and it pasted the little shadows there, whether you see it or not. And it just gives it a little extra depth, but you have that. If you're doing mock-ups and you're doing the cutouts, then you just like it's not a template, y'all. It's literally like a layout. So let's say now I want to put my one of my props I want to be that on top of the 2006. Maybe I want that as a prop. And I can start to place these things in here. I can copy that layer style, paste it. So maybe I want to do that with the 2026 underneath it as one of my props. Oh, that is not. Hold down control also. If I'm hovering over a frame, if you hold down control, it won't let you drop it into that frame. So holding down control won't jump into the frame. All right, so this is not, for me, this isn't what I consider a template because basically each element that you put in here, you're going to have to create a graphic for, merge the graphic together, which means you're going to have to create a PNG, JPEG, pull it in, and then drop it into a frame. However, the way that the frames are set up gives you an idea of what you could do with some of this stuff. So that would be more or less what I call more of a layout than an actual template. But nonetheless, I will give you all of this stuff too, because it will make, once you see it, it will make playing with this stuff a lot easier. And also, see how big I made this one? This would technically be two boards together, which that's kind of how I do the circle one. It's two boards together. So now I'm getting into playing with the stuff, which I said I wasn't gonna do, but I'll at least go ahead and give y'all something. The one I want. And there. There you go. All right, so you know how to make circles, squares. You got these arches that are built in here. Y'all can have fun playing with that. This one, I definitely make that one shorter. All right, so any other suggestions that you have for or questions that you have for Canva, put it into your homework post in the Facebook group. So tell me three things that you learned and one thing that you want to learn how to do next. And that is all you have to do for homework tonight. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. So even if you're doing like layout, like you can do your designs anywhere you want, but you may want to choose to use this type of layout option because it is easy to drag and drop and visualize where things go. Okay. The Facebook group should be in the homework. It tells you the working document has the Facebook link in there as well. And then make sure that you're accessing that working document all throughout the week. Every day we will have a different homework assignment. And then this is also where your resources are going to be for the week. So the links for your AI class, the links for your Photoshop files and all of that are all going to be, you got your working document, and then you have on the back end the course that'll have the downloadables. All right, so I really hope this was helpful. Let me know in the chat, was this helpful? Was this something that opened your eyes and gave you some insight on some things you may have been worrying about inside of Canva? And even my Photoshop folks, y'all let me know, was this helpful? Valentina, you have to answer a few questions to join the Facebook group, but answer those questions and we'll go ahead and get you approved inside of the Facebook group. Oh, Jen says, so amazing. I don't have the words to describe. Oh, y'all don't make me blush tonight. So it is a lot of work. And like I said, I haven't seen any resources that showcase how to do this type of work. So I did want to make sure that I was putting viable information in your hands that you can use right now to go ahead and say yes to those projects that people are asking you to do, that you've been maybe a little timid to say that you can do them because you don't know how to execute. So that's why I want you all to tell me what you're having trouble with, what you need help with, because that will help me understand what you need to learn next. Okay. Now we'll be doing some work in Midjourney tomorrow. If you do not have Midjourney, it's fine. You will still be able to watch, but you will also have access, whether you have Midjourney or not. Go ahead and set up the Discord account. Um, the directions are inside of the working document on how to do the 4 steps that we do. And customer happiness, let's make sure that those same steps are in the working document. So however we set up is a really quick way to get your Discord account set up. It's a really quick way to get Midjourney set up. If you want to do the $10 a month Midjourney, if you don't do it. We're going to be all prompting together. So basically by the end of the night, we end up with roundabout 4,000 images or so. So for instance, this was some of the images that we did last week. We were doing graduation images, but doing them as professions and different photo shoots. So working on creating our consistent models. Same thing here. We did some arches and some columns as another AI. Photo shoots where you want different shots of the same person. Maybe they're turned to the side so that when you're creating your collage art, it doesn't look like the same person in the same pose posted 3 times. You actually have some variations of your character. We even created anime characters and things that might be good for your invitations and parties and that sort of thing. So we do something every single week in AI. This was for a sneaker ball. We did custom letters, memorial graphics. We created patterns, images, face swaps, all of that great stuff. So like I said, we have 65 classes, AI classes that we've done so far. So over a year's worth of AI classes. We've been doing this and we know that these elements help us with our design. So I'm going to show you that tomorrow, how the elements help us. Like I said, if you don't have Midjourney or you're not wanting to commit right now to the $10 a month Midjourney subscription, then you will still have access to all of the files in here. So for instance, Uh, let's put that in. This server right here has 6,000 images in it. And whatever is in here, you're able to use for your final end use graphics. Okay. So I even did some I think I did face swapping in this one too. We some face swapping machines. So if we have time tomorrow, I will show you all some face swapping, okay? Um, it's not required because face swapping does inside of Midjourney does require another app, but I may be able to show you all a workaround to that using, well, no, you still have to have an advanced feature in Midjourney, so that wouldn't matter either. I'll put on my list to show you all a free face swapper tomorrow too, where at least you have like a few free credits. It's not overall free, but it gives you free credits. So free face swap websites. All right, so y'all, we have had a long night. I just wanted you all to be prepared for AI tomorrow. Check your working document for everything that we're going to be doing this week. Um, I appreciate you. I love you dearly. And until next time, which is 7 p.m. tomorrow. Bye. Good night, y'all. We did a lot. Y'all did great. Good night.